Well, so today is exactly 4 years since the Supreme Court gave a verdict on the 2012 election petition hearing. And you know, it was the NPP then that was in opposition was challenging the credibility of that election that declared John Mahama of the NDC winner. Question I asked this evening, what lessons have you learned from the election petition hearing?
We enjoying the peaceful Ghana as we have now. It's as a result of some decisions taken 4 years ago. And I think how everybody embraced that decision has brought Ghana this far. So I would say that one lesson I would take from the election petition that was 4 years ago is that the ability to tolerate each other, even though the outcome was different. The ability for us to tolerate each other regardless of the party we represent.
We have learned that going to court, it won't help because the people are small. So the only thing, you have to accept defeat. This year when the election ends, Mama accept defeat. So that's the lesson we have won. Because when you look at the other countries, those say they will not agree, they send it to court, always there's war. So after the election, you accept defeat, and that is that.
There were a lot of confusion here due to the misunderstanding between the two parties. So it wasn't all that peace. We said we want peace in our country, but due to that issue, the peace wasn't all that settled. So we were praying, we thank God that things are sorted out. We are all on peace now, and nothing has happened to us.
I've learned a lot. For transparency, you have to be transparent. Everywhere, everything that you do, you have to be transparent. Yeah. Because if transparency is in the country, is within the system, everything will move on right. Yeah. And from the top, if everything is transparent, I cannot see that we will encounter any big problem within the communities.
And those are some comments from the streets Leshakot you've been saying on Facebook.
Mitchell Brobe says, Joy News, when the cladding of the Flagstaff House are falling off, you're asking about the lessons learned from the election petition case 4 years ago. Please follow up on the renovation of the Flagstaff House cost status risk to the country. I know they're working on it. I mean, they've already indicated that there's some renovation works ongoing. Let's click on the replies and see, okay, because what says, what prevents you from also reporting to the right office, or you have ceased to be a citizen and now a spectator? Michelle then comes in, which is the right office? Don't you think the loudest voice in the country now is the media? Let them interview a couple of people there and the edifice will be renovated. They are actually renovating it as far as I'm concerned. Sule Mohammed says, one of the most important outcomes from the petition is clarification that elections are won at the polling centers, besides the directive that pink sheets should be made available to all polling agents. This made our current elections so free and fair.
Kwesi Watanabe says the election petition gingered MPP to wake up from their slumber. The petition also made the EC to be up to some bit of standards. It made us to understand that elections are won at the polling stations. And Berma Kwabaji from Junjin says that whole 8 long months of litigation was an absolute waste of precious man hours and national resources. The prime witness, whose only mantra was "you and I were not there," was enough to tell it was a sham. And thankfully, the judges did the right thing by folding the case and dumping it in the garbage. Well, that's your opinion. And those are some comments from the streets of Accra. Also, there have been concerns of the growing lawlessness in the country. I mean, the Delta 8 attack on the Kumasi Circuit Court and the invisible force takeover of the passport office in Accra, among others, are still fresh in our memories. And even though the president and the IGP have assured us of a safe haven, the recent setting of fire by some land guards of a church in Accra has raised some fear among a cross-section of Ghanaians who say that they don't feel safe in the country. And the question I'm asking you, do you feel safe as a Ghanaian?
Yes. Yeah, currently I feel safe in Ghana because of now you can see how, I mean, the security rise everywhere is being secured. You see the security. I mean, the police service are seriously on their toes and working very well. So I think it's okay.
I don't think Ghana is as safe as it was before.
Why?
Talking about safe, recently there's been an increase of crime and then people beating people up in town. That is not very safe for me. And technologically, you realize that Ghana, we are very far behind the technology, the way other countries are advancing that quick. Ghana, we are not following. And I don't feel like Ghana is a safe place. Technology is taking over. Even your phone is not as private as it used to be. People have means to get into your phones. And I don't think that Ghana, we are really trending. We are really going with it.
I feel safe.
Why?
Because I don't do any dubious business, or where I'm staying there's petrol around 24/7, so I think I'm safe here in Ghana. I can't go anywhere. This is my motherland. I have to stay here. I'm very safe. Yeah.
Yes, I do feel safe in Ghana because regardless of the things going on in Ghana, we can bet to say that a lot more is happening in other countries. And Togo, for instance, is messed up there, and other countries, other African countries. And so even though we are equally experiencing a quota of violence and all, together I think Ghana is peaceful. Yes, I think Ghana is peaceful, regardless of what we are going through.
Yes, we feel safe from the beginning, but now that what they are doing, look how they killed this Major Mama, a security man, or major in the army. You kill him just like that. So when you are, in fact, we are secure, but not properly.
So mixed reactions from the streets. Let's check out what you've been writing on Facebook.
Awuni Kwame Jacob says, come again in neighboring what? So you guys mean you've not seen the lawlessness in this country? The lawlessness in this country is even more than that of our neighboring countries, just that the victims have decided to keep calm and let posterity and the Almighty God be their judge. Because Iwatan says, we have our own problems to deal with, people burning churches and chasing people with machetes from their land simply because he or she is disgruntled. Violence is not communicable for it to travel from one country to the other. We are rather creating our own violence, and politicians too are stoking the fire.
All right, and that'll be all for the interactive segment. Very short, but trust you enjoyed it. My name is Aisha Ibrahim.